Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We are at Yankee Stadium, the Texas Rangers against the New York Yankees. Another game on the May 13th block, and it is game number 221 on the season replay. Pitching match, Tommy John for the Yankees against right-hander Jose Guzman for the Texas Rangers. Yankees enter the game 21-11. They're in a dogfight so far early on with the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toronto Blue Jays. Kind of a three-way thing going on there where those three teams are starting to battle it out. And Texas kind of mediocrely going 13-16, basically lower middle of the pack of the American League West. Hello, Joel. Good to see you on this Friday. Got my coffee and my Strat, and tell you what, on a Friday morning, coffee and Strat are about the best things I can think of going right at the moment. And that's what we have. Yankee Stadium ballpark effects. Singles are 1-7 for both. Home runs 1-9 for lefties, 1-8 for righties. Tommy John has a -1 net hold with his catcher Cerrone. John's a 0, Cerrone's a -1. But Jose Guzman's a +3 hold, and then you tack that on to Don Slott's +1 arm, and it makes him a +4. So guys like Ricky Henderson and Claudel Washington might have a field day on the base pass. You never know. Depends on how, they got to get on base first, basically. All right, so we're ready to go on this Friday morning. Noon today will be Fun Day Friday, and that'll be a game that I have not played in a while. And that will be presented at noon Eastern today, live. You'll have to show up and find out what the game is. It could be a number of different games that I haven't played in a while. So far, I've done replay baseball, payoff pitch baseball, and status pro. So it won't be one of those three. It'll be something different that I've played before on the channel, just haven't played in a while. So, and of course, it won't be Strat or Inside Pitch or Season Ticket because I'm already doing those on projects. So there you go. All right, so we're ready to go. Tommy John on the replay is 2-2 with a 2.27 earned run average, 36 innings pitched, 32 hits, 11 walks, and 10 strikeouts. So Tommy John finishing up his warm-up tosses as he gets ready to face this Texas Ranger lineup. Pretty standard lineup for Texas, I would think. Actually, both teams have pretty standard lineups going. The only thing they do have, with the lefty on the mound, Tommy John, they do have Bob Brower in center field. I believe Odom McDowell is on the injured list or unavailable at this point, so they can't use him in center. But pretty much everything else is pretty standard, I would think. All right, so Jerry Brown leads off for Texas. Brown on the replay hitting .305, a homer and 7 driven in. He hit .271 real world. And we're underway from Yankee Stadium. 4-5, right-hander facing John, switcher batting right. As they pop out to second base, Willie Randolph is there. There's a dot there, but obviously first batter of the game, he's not tired. So he'll pop it out to Randolph, and that's one away. And we're underway. Here's Scott Fletcher, shortstop. Fletcher on the replay is hitting .286. He hit .287 real world, so he's right on his number. A homer and 20 driven in. That's a 4-7 right-handed. That's a single. So Scott Fletcher gets himself a one-out single. He could try to get the lead. It would be a -1 there, so it'd be a 1-12 if he got the lead. That still might be worth it, though. So let's see. To get the lead, needs a 2 through 6 or a 10. If he rolls an 8, he's picked off. So we'll see what happens. Fletcher's going to give it a go. That's an 8, so he is picked off. We hit the 8, so Tommy John just picked Fletcher off base for out number 2. And those are the dangers you take when you try to get the lead. It's not always going to work out in your favor. Sometimes the dice will get you, and they did there. So 2 down, and that will bring up Ruben Sierra. Why is Incaviglia up to bat? Did I hit something? Or did I didn't put the lineup in wrong, did I? That would be embarrassing. Yeah, Sierra's supposed to be batting. I don't know why the computer has Incaviglia up here. Sierra never hit. Let me undo that play. I must have done, instead of, you know what, I did a pop out for Sierra's at bat instead of the pickoff. That's what it was. I input the wrong thing there on the correct entry. So first P that popped up was pop out, and I kind of messed that one up. Now we're right. Sierra is the correct batter now. Ruben Sierra on the replay is hitting 279, 11 home runs, and 24 driven in. The 11 home runs is near the top of the league. 6-4 for Tommy John. He's going to pop it out. Again, same thing as the 4-5. It's a pop out the second with the dot, but again, first inning, so he's obviously not tired. And the Rangers, after the pickoff, go rather quietly. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Texas nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. And Jose Guzman, the pitcher, he's had a rough go of it here in the replay to this point. He is 0-3 with an ERA of 8.56. His real life ERA was 4.67, so he's doing much worse. But maybe he turns it around here at Yankee Stadium. We shall see. 27 innings pitched. He's already given up 43 hits, 10 walks, and 22 strikeouts. He's also given up 12 home runs in 27 innings of pitching. So he's just been having a rough go of it all around. Rick Henderson leads things off. He's hitting 302 on the replay, 5 homers, 14 driven in, stolen 8 bases to this point. It's a 6-6 on Guzman, and he strikes him out. It's a good start for Guzman. Always a good idea when you play the Yankees to keep Ricky off the bases. Hello, Mr. Bancroft. How are you doing? Definitely up for morning strat with my coffee. Got my coffee. They go hand in hand as far as I'm concerned, especially this time of day. Willie Randolph hitting 309 on the replay. No homers, 15 driven in. He hit 305 on the replay real world. That's a 610, and that's a catcher X. Looking at slot, he's a 3E10. Nobody's on base, so there can't be any wild pitches or pass balls. 3 and a 10. We'll check the catcher section for that. 3 and a 10 is a P/F, but nobody on it's just a foul out, assuming there's no error. That's a 6, and he is an E10. E10, there's a 12 and an 18, but no 6, so it's just going to be a foul out to Don Slot for out number 2, and Willie Randolph is retired. That'll bring up Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. Mattingly hitting 279 on the replay, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He hit 327 real world, so he's been off to a slow start. 5-10, but he might catch up right here. 1 to 9 is a home run. That's a 4. It is gone. Soon they'll talk about a slow start. Mattingly homers. Let's look at it again. 5-10 against the left-hander. 1 to 9 is a home run, and obviously he has normal power, and that's a 4. So Don Mattingly, home run number 4 for the Yankees. It's a solo shot, but when you don't have anything on the board, you'll take anything you can get. And Guzman, once again, a victim of the long ball. Guzman now has given up 13 home runs in 29 innings of pitching with that home run there. So Mattingly puts the Yankees on the board. And now that'll flip it over to Claudell Washington playing center field in this one, getting Ricky over in left field where he belongs. He's kind of out of place in center field, in my opinion. So Claudell Washington in center field for this one. On the replay, he's hitting 380 in just 50 at-bats. A homer and 11 driven in. Hit 279 real world. Hello, Kathy. As you can tell, I'm not sure when you joined me, but as you can see, right here, right now, got my coffee going. Coffee and Strat are a good thing. All right, here's Claudell. 5-6 to the left-handers, a fly ball to right field, put away by Sierra, but Donnie Baseball gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead after 1 here from the stadium. And Jose Guzman's woes continue with the long ball. But taking advantage of that is TJ, Tommy John. He'll be out facing Pete Incaviglia, Pete O'Brien, and Larry Parrish. Those are the scheduled hitters. Incaviglia on replay Hitting 225, 4 homers, 17 driven in. He's already struck out 44 times in 111 at bats. He struck out 168 times real world. So TJ 4-7, and that's a single. So off of TJ's card, Incaviglia will get the base hit. Now TJ already picked off Fletcher in the first inning, so Incaviglia's got to be careful. He has no pickoffs here though, so he's in good shape. He needs a 6 to get the lead. He gets a 7, so he just misses it. He will hold. And here's Pete O'Brien, first baseman, lefty on lefty matchup. He's really doing well in the replay. He's hitting 349. He only hit 286 real world, but in the replay, 349, 7 homers, 22 runs batted in, 106 at bats. Havoc roll, nothing happening. That's a 1-3 for O'Brien. That's a fly ball to center field, and Claudel will haul it in for out number 1. Again, noon today. We'll be back with Fun Day Friday, a game I have not played in a long time. Not going to let the cat out of the bag what the game is. You'll have to tune in and find out. But it's a game I've played on the channel before, just not in a long time. That's what Fun Day Friday is all about, doing something fun. But I had time this morning, since I didn't do anything yesterday, I had time this morning to get this game in. Larry Parrish, designated hitter, hitting 238, 5 homers, 14 driven in, hit 268 real world. Havoc roll for TJ, nothing happening. TJ could use a ground ball right now to get that double play. Let's see, 4-3 against the right-hander. That's going to be a walk. That's not what he wanted. As the umpire may have squeezed him just a bit. First and second now, with only 1 out for the catcher Don Slaught, who will eventually go to the Yankees next season in '88, I believe it is. Stays with Texas the whole year in this season. Slaught hit 288, 5 homers, 14 driven in the replay. He only hit 224 real world, so he's doing much, much better. But it's still early, only 73 at bats. 1-6 against the left-hander. That's a 1-3 double, but that's a 20, so that's a fly to center. Claudel again makes the play. 2 down. 2 down, and that's going to bring up third baseman Steve Buechele in a clutch situation. Against left-handers, Buechele does get a hit on 1-4. That out changes to a hit on the clutch. On the replay, he's hitting 228, 3 homers, 14 driven in, hit 237 real world. So he's not too far from his normal. Buechele looking for that 1-4 to get the key base hit. Doesn't, gets 2-6. He still gets a base hit. Single 2 stars. That will tie the ball game. RBI single from Steve Buechele. And we are tied at a run apiece. Larry Parrish, even as slow as he runs, makes it to third base on the 2 stars. And we got a tie ball game. Tommy John kicking himself for putting that ball where he put it. Didn't put it where he wanted it, that's for sure. Buechele will not be held at first base. Number 9 hitter Bob Brower, hitting 274 on the replay, a homer and 11 driven in. Hit 261 real world. Number 9 hitter. Again, a clutch situation. And in the clutch, he gains a hit on 110 and on 210. That's a 3-6, though. But that's still good enough for him. 1-2 is going to be a double. 3-20 is a single. That's a 3. It'll be another repeat, rinse and repeat, a single 2 stars. And Texas grabs a 2-1 lead. So 2-out magic here by the Texas Rangers at the bottom of the order, no less, doing it. And the Rangers lead at 2-1. Now, Brower is a threat to run. He has a 2 through 9 to get the lead. See if he can get that lead. He does. So he'll take off. He's a 15. Being held a 13, and then -1's a 12. So 1-12, he will steal second base. And he does, right on the number. Boy. Right on the number, and Wayne Tollison is not happy about it. Tollison saying he got the tag in, but umpire says otherwise. So now second and third with 2 outs for the governor, Jerry Brown. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Tommy John having a rough second inning after a very easy first inning, but trying to get out of this with Jerry Brown. Another clutch situation for Brown. And in the clutch, he loses a hit on 3-2. Everything else, he's neutral. That's a 5-5. We're under John's card, and he lines it to third to end the inning. Dot there, and of course, he's not tired yet. But the Rangers take the lead 2-1 on a couple of two-out singles. And Tommy John kicking himself for putting a couple of pitches where he shouldn't have put them. But he's depending on his offense and the not-so-great pitching of Jose Guzman to come through. And Mr. Winfield, George Steinbrenner's favorite Yankee of all time, is coming to the plate. On the replays, hitting .254, 5 homers, 17 driven in, hit .275 real world. That's a .310 for Winfield. That's a ballpark single, first ballpark check, 1-7, but that's an 11, so he's going to line it out to second base, where Jerry Brown will snag it, one down. One away for designated hitter Gary Ward. Ward on the replay is struggling a bit. .218, a homer, 11 driven in. He hit .248 real world. 1-7, and he's going to strike out. He continues to struggle. Second strikeout for Guzman. And that'll bring up Pagliarulo, third baseman, hitting .255 on the replay. 9 homers, 19 driven in, and 98 at bats. So he's got the power game going. 3-6. Might have it again. Ballpark blast. 1-9, but that's a 16. So just a deep fly to right. The Sierra corrals on the warning track, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jose Guzman. And the Rangers maintain a 2-1 lead. 2-1 lead after 2. Pags thought he got into one, but just not quite enough. So top of the third is Mr. Fletcher. He singled and then got picked off first base in his first at bat. 1-9, and he's going to ground it to Tollison at short. Easy play. One away. And I am scoring the game on the Strat computer as we play it, so I have the stats available immediately after the game without doing any computations. Here's Ruben Sierra. He popped to second his first time up. 3-6, and he's going to ground it to Pagliarulo. So Tommy John got the ground ball working this inning. Maybe he made some adjustments with his catcher, Cerrone. I don't know. But 2 quick ground outs, and here's Incaviglia, who singled and scored his first time up. 4-8, and that's a fly to left. That's a 1-2-3 for Tommy John. It's exactly what the Yankees and Tommy John needed to get him out of the mess. We go to the bottom of the third. 2-1, Texas still holding on, but Guzman with his 8-point-something ERA on the replay is ripe for the pickings if the Yankees can take advantage. We're at the bottom of the order, though. Yankees not so good this part of the order. Tollison hitting a .196 on the replay. 2 homers, 12 driven in. He hit .221 real world. 5-9, switcher to batting left, and that's trouble for Guzman. 1-9's a double. That is a 9. So it's a double for Wayne Tollison. So Guzman's one of those pitchers you want to go off his card sometimes because you might get a break and help yourself out. And they just did right there. So here's Rick Cerrone. Tollison not going to be held at second base. Here's Cerrone on the replays hitting .297, 2 homers, 8 driven in. Hit .243 real world. But he's only had 37 at bats. So a little premature to make comparisons. Cerrone. 1-7, and he struck him out. Third strikeout for Guzman. Back to the top of the order for Ricky. And Ricky's got a base runner with some decent speed, so never know what he can do. Ricky struck out his first time, though. 2-6, and he's going to get a base hit. There's a clutch symbol there, but there are not 2 outs, so the single will stand. Single to center field on the 2-6. Tollison is a 15, not being held makes him a 16. Brower's a +1 arm makes him a 17. The run will score without a throw because they want Ricky to stay at first base. If they throw through, Ricky's going to take second. So the odds were not good, so they will allow the run to score We got a tie game, RBI single for Ricky Henderson. And we are tied at 2. Now, can Ricky get the lead to make a steal? Needs a 6 or a 7. Does not get the lead. That's a 2. Possible balk on Guzman. His balk rating's an 18. And he will balk. So while Ricky was trying to get the lead, Guzman got unnerved, and Ricky caused him to balk. That's what speed will do for you. So a balk on Guzman will put Ricky at second base with 1 out. They will hold Ricky on second base, try to bird dog, keep him close. And here's Willie Randolph. That might open up the right side of the infield with the second baseman, Brown, holding him on close. 3-8, and that's a base on balls. So maybe Guzman's getting a little bit rattled. Got 2 on now. Hello, Alan. Good to see you. So here's Don Mattingly. Donnie Baseball homered his first time up, and now he has 2 ducks on the pond. So a home run would not be a solo shot. It would be worth a whole lot more if he can get into one. That's a 2-9, but he's going to pop it up to short. Infield fly rule. Boy, he just missed that one, got under it. Donnie Baseball kicking himself for blowing that opportunity. But Claudel Washington says, I will pick you up. You're in the clutch. He will gain a hit on 3-10 and 3-6 and also on 1-6. So he's quite the proficient clutch hitter, according to Strat-O-Matic. So we'll see if he can come through. Whoop, that white die did not go through. Went to the outside. Let's re-roll that. 2-8 for him, and that's a single to left field for Claudel. That will almost assuredly score Ricky Henderson. Single to left. Incavilla is a -1 arm, though, but 17 for Henderson. Being held makes him a 16, but 2 outs makes him an 18. -1 makes him a 17. If they throw through, Randolph will take third and Washington will take second. On a 1-17, the odds are just not very good, so they will throw it in, and Ricky will score for the Yankees to take the lead. Randolph stops at second, but the Yankees have reclaimed the lead 3-2 on some good clutch hitting. They answer the 2 runs from Texas in the second with 2 of their own here in the third. And now here comes Mr. Winfield. 6-6, and that's a strikeout for Winfield to end the inning. But the Yankees do pick up 2. And at the end of 3, they lead it 3-2 here at the stadium. No thanks to Winfield, though. He's 0 for 2 with the K. Steinbrenner not very happy about that. But no threats of sending Winfield to Columbus. In fact, I think he's out of options anyway. All right, here is Pete O'Brien. He will lead off the top of the 4th. O'Brien flew to center his first shot. 4-5, lefty on lefty, and that's a strikeout for TJ. That's actually his first strikeout of the game. Not known for a strikeout pitcher. He's more of a ground ball pitcher. But he gets the K, and here is Larry Parrish. Drew a base on balls his first time up. The only walk so far for TJ. 1-8, and he's going to strike out Parrish. So back-to-back strikeouts for TJ. Maybe the run support has given him some boosting of energy. And here comes Don Slaught. Flew to center his first shot. 6-4, and that's another pop-up to second base with a dot there. But, of course, he's not tired. His fatigue doesn't start till the 6th inning. So he's good. 1-2-3 inning for TJ. Shutdown inning, as they call it. Your team scores you some runs. You go out there and shut down the opponent and put your own team right back in the dugout to bat. And that's what he did. So bottom half of the 4th inning. 3-2 Yankees, and Gary Ward, the DH. Strikeout victim his first time up. 1-7, and he will be a strikeout victim again. That's the 5th strikeout for Guzman. For all his troubles, he's got 5 strikeouts in not even 4 innings of pitching. And here's Pags. He just missed a home run his first time up. 3-3. He doesn't miss it this time. Bold, big, and bright, Mike Pagliarulo, a solo shot on the 3-3 against a right-hander. And for Pagliarulo, that is home run number 10. RBI number 20. So he has joined the double-digit club in home runs. I believe 12 still leads the league, but he's up there. 10th home run, 20th run batted in. You don't mess with Pagliarulo in column 3. I can tell you that against right-handers. You just don't do it. Guzman did, and he paid for it. It's now 4-2 Yankees. And here's Wayne Tollison. Oh, the white die didn't go through for some reason, so we're going to redo everything. I like to have them all together. We're going to do it again. 6-11, switch hitter batting left. That is a ground ball, first base X. We are looking at O'Brien, who is a 2E12. 2E12 for O'Brien. 2 and a 10, he'll get to that, and he'll end up flipping to Guzman as long as he doesn't throw it away. That's a 12, and he is an E12. So first base, 12 and a 12. There is no 12 there, so he will get the ball and flip it to Guzman covering for out number 2. 2 down, and Rick Cerrone, the catcher. Cerrone struck out his first chance. 1-12, and he's going to ground it right back to Guzman to end the inning. But Pagliarulo, his 10th home run of the season on the replay, gives the Yankees a 4-2 lead after 4. TJ's getting the run support, so he needs to take advantage of it. And he'll be facing the bottom of the order, Buechele, Brower, and then the top of the order, Brown, after that. So won't have to face the big boys for him, hopefully, until the 6th inning. But we'll see. Here's Buechele. He singled his first time up. 110 against the lefty. It's a ballpark single check. 1-7, but that's an 8. So he's going to pop it up to second base. 1 away. Double die did not come up. Came a little bit too much for Brower or Buechele on that one. Here's Brower. 6-4. And again, that's that pop up to second with the dot. He's got that row going here with these dots with the pop-ups, but he's not tired. So once again, another pop-up to second. Randolph's been getting more pop-ups over there than he's been getting ground balls. That's the 5th pop-up to second base in 5 innings. Here's Jerry Brown. 1-7 against the lefty. That's a home run, 1-5, but that's a 14, so he will just hit it deep to left field. And standing there waiting is Ricky, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for TJ. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Yankees holding on to that 4-2 lead. Texas bullpen might start to stir because Guzman has not been exactly fooling the Yankees. So they may be looking for some relief. And if you're curious about the Texas bullpen, who they have available, they have right-handers Dale Mahorsic and Greg Harris, left-handers Ron Meredith, and the wild thing Mitch Williams. Those are 4 relievers that are on the roster that are available. Ricky is going to lead it off. He has singled and struck out. That's a 2-7, and he's going to get a 1-6 single. Anything else? He lines to short, but that is a 6. The line is right under the number telling you it's a 6. So that's a base hit for Ricky. He will hit a leadoff single, and you know he's looking to get the lead. 6 or a 7 will get him the lead. And with the Guzman's +4, he might try to steal him without the good lead. 5, he doesn't get the good lead. That's a 2, though, so it's a chance of another balk on Guzman. He can make Guzman balk again for the 2nd time. And he does. So he has really flustered Guzman. It's the 2nd time Guzman has balked in this game with Ricky on base. So even though he's not stealing, he's still making effects. And he's at second base with nobody out. And here's Willie Randolph. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Brown. He's a 3E16. See if he can make the play. 3-19 he will, but the ground ball to second will make sure that Ricky gets to third. Checking for an error. He's a 14, and he's an E16. So E16, there's a 15, 16, 17, and 18, but no 14. So good play for Jerry Brown, but Ricky does take second on the ground ball. So Randolph does his job by moving the runner over with less than 2 outs, and now the infield will have to come in for Don Mattingly. Mattingly is homered and popped to short. Infield is in for Texas. They can't afford to give up any more runs. Speedy Henderson at third with one out. Downey baseball, 110. That's a single to left field, and that will bring home Henderson as he just trots home from third. It's 5-2 Yankees. And the bullpen for Texas is now up in earnest. They have left-hander Ron Meredith loosing in their bullpen because Guzman may not hang around much longer. Donnie baseball not going to be, that's a 1, so it's a chance of a wild pitch. His wild pitch rating is a 6. And that's a 3, so he'll uncork a wild pitch. So Guzman just totally getting flustered. Bobby Valentine not happy about it. Ron Meredith can't get ready fast enough. All right, here's Claudel. Had a big RBI single his last time up. That's a 4-9 left-handed. That's a walk. So that's more signs that Guzman is getting frustrated. So he's going to face Winfield, and that's going to be his last batter well, he might get Ward too. He struck out Ward. He's gotten Ward and Winfield all 4 times with 3 of the 4 outs being strikeouts. So if he can't get these guys, he's not going to get anybody out because these are the only 2 guys he's managed to get out, basically. So here's Winfield. 1-5, and that's a walk. So he even walks Winfield. That's going to load the bases. Bases are loaded with 1 out and Gary Ward, the batter. Guzman, this is his last batter to face. When the lefty Pagliarulo is coming up, they will go to Meredith. But right now, they're going to give him one more chance to get Ward. Infield looking for the double play. 4-8, and that's another walk for Guzman. That's going to do it. Bobby Valentine just threw his hat. He says, I don't believe it. Yet another walk. He's going to force in a run. Bases will remain loaded. And that's going to be it for Guzman. Yankees now lead at 6-2, and Guzman will be out of here as Bobby Valentine makes that slow walk to the mound. And Ron Meredith, a left-hander, will be coming on for Texas. And he's not out of the woods. The bases are still loaded with only 1 out. And he's got Pagliarulo to deal with, who homered his last time up, although Pagliarulo not as good against lefties. So we'll get the numbers on Ron Meredith. Recent call up by Texas, so he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity to pitch. Ron Meredith has pitched 7 innings so far. He's 0-0 with no saves and 6.75 earned run average. His ERA in real world was 6.1, so right now it's 6.75. 7 innings pitched, 10 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. So he'll be facing Pagliarulo with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Infield looking for that double play. But I tell you what, Meredith's got to be careful. Look at column 3 against lefties. A lot of in-home run chances right here. And this could be a grand salami if he's not careful. But it's a 1-7, and he strikes out Pags. Big, huge out there. Out number 2. And now Wayne Tollison will turn around and bat right-handed. He's 1 for 2. The double. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 in. 6-2 Yankees. 2-5 against the lefty, and that's a bases loaded walk that will force another run in. That run is charged to Guzman. His ERA will continue to skyrocket. RBI bases loaded walk, and that's the 3rd run of the inning. It's now 7-2 Yankees. Rick Cerrone now still has a chance to add insult to injury against Meredith. 6-6, and that's trouble for Meredith. 1-12 is a double. That's an 18. It's a single, 2 stars, a 2-run single, and that will close the book on Guzman. He's going to allow all these runs. All 5 runs are charged to Guzman. He's going to allow 8 runs in less than 5 innings of pitching. 2-run single from Rick Cerrone, and the Yankees have blown this thing wide open. It is now 9-2, and they batted around. So we're still in the 5th inning. We got to move our score sheet columns over by 1. Ricky Henderson, who singled to lead off the inning, is back up, this time facing Meredith. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. 1-6, and that's trouble. 1 to 8's a triple. Then 11, it'll only be a double. A double for Ricky. He has singled and doubled in the same inning. Tollison will score. Cerrone, who's pretty slow, will stay at third base. He's only a 10. So RBI double makes it 10-2, a 6-pack this inning for the Yankees. They have put up 6 on the Rangers. And Willie Randolph, who made an out in this inning, gets to bat. He could possibly make 2 outs in the same inning. A dubious honor for some batters. 3-4 against the lefties. He grounds to third. He does just that. 2 to 3 outs were made by Willie Randolph, but a 6-pack for the Yankees. And they lead it now comfortably by the score of 10-2. And Tommy John can now relax and just get a little midlife. Tommy John can just relax and throw the ball across the plate and let his fielders do the work. He's got an 8-run lead to work with. So he can kind of be in what they call cruise control, I would say. We'll get the gory numbers now on Guzman. They were not pretty, for sure. But courtesy of the Strat computer, that will save me from having to do the manual labor of adding up the stats myself. So we go to our box score mid-game. Check it out. Guzman officially now goes 4 1/3. Gives up 7 hits and 9 runs, all earned. 4 walks and 5 strikeouts and 2 long balls. He gave up a long ball to Mattingly, and he gave up a long ball to Pagliarulo. So 10 runs on 9 hits for the Yankees, plus 4 walks added to that. Texas, 2 runs and 4 hits, so not a whole lot going on there. As we go to the 6th, this is the fatigue inning for Tommy John. That's a 1-2 for Fletcher, and we're going to add injury to insult as Fletcher has a chance to be injured. That's a Lomax with an injury chance. So he lines it to Pagliarulo, and we'll see if he can stay in the game. Needs a 1-4 to stay in the game. Anything higher, 5 or higher, he's got to come out for this game. And he does. So Fletcher will have to leave, and the Rangers on their bench have Curtis Wilkerson, Jeff Kunkel as their infielders, and then 2 catchers, Petralli and Porter. So they can either go with Kunkel at short, who's a 4E48, or Wilkerson, who's a 3E44. So I think, but with the right-hander, though, well, you know what? Kunkel's going to need some at-bats, and this is the kind of game you give it to him. So they're going to bring in the lesser guy. If it was a closer game, I'd have Wilkerson in there. But with the blowout, we'll go with Kunkel. So Kunkel will come in and play shortstop in the 6th inning. So Kunkel will take over at short for Fletcher, who lined to third base. Here's Ruben Sierra, 5-4. And that is a ground ball to third base. That's Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20. Pretty good fielder for a third baseman. Maybe underrated. 2-4, though, is interesting. 2-4, he will get to it. He's an E20, and that is a total of 11. E20, there's an 11 right here. As soon as the top of a good fielder he was, he boots it. So E20 and an 11 sitting right here on the E1 column. So it's a 1-base error on Pagliarulo. So Sierra will reach, but down 10-2. They're not going to try anything. They're not going to hold him on. They're not going to try to steal any bases or any of that stuff. Here's Incaviglia. For a closer game, but Yankees had other ideas. 5-7, and that's a single to left field. And when you're down 10-2, it's station to station all the way, even though Sierra has pretty decent speed. But with the single going to left field, it's kind of hard to go to third. You're really taking your chances there. So down by 8 runs, obviously, you need base runners. Doesn't matter where they're located. You just need them. Here's Pete O'Brien. He's 0 for 2 against John. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a chance of balking on John, but his balk rating is a 0, so there's no balk opportunity. Move on to O'Brien. 6-8 against John. 1-14 is a single, but that's a 20, so it's a line out right to Randolph. And that is going to be out number 2. So John now with a chance to get out of it if he can get Larry Parrish. By rule, it's still a clutch situation, even though it's 10-2. So Parrish will get a hit extra on 1-2 and on 2-10 and on 3-10 and 3-11. So he's really good in the clutch. But again, how clutch can it be when it's 10-2? But that's by rule. Of course, you could homebrew that, I guess. 5-7, and that's a single to left field. And now they will send Sierra with 2 outs. Sierra was not being held. Makes him a 16. 2 outs makes him an 18. Left fielder arm, Ricky's a +2, so they're just going to let him score and keep everybody else at a 1-base advancement. So an RBI single for Larry Parrish makes the score 10-3. And now Tommy John is getting close to fatigue. One more base runner, and I believe he will reach fatigue, but they're going to at least go and try to get through the inning. They have a big enough lead where they can give him some rope to try to get out of this mess. Here's Slot. 6-7. 6-7 is a ground ball. Second base X. We're looking at Randolph. He is a 2E17. 2-10, he'll get to that, but that's a 3. That's a dangerous number on an error chance. Those 3s could be 2-base errors sometimes. He's an E17 at second base. And there you go. That 3 is a 2-base error on Willie Randolph. That's just the way it is. You roll a 3. Look at this column here. A lot of 3s here in the 2-base error category. So second error of the inning on the Yankees. This one on Randolph. They're playing a little sloppy with the lead. And now a 10-4 good buddy game. And Parrish will take third base on the error. So a 2-base error by Randolph. And Lou Piniella not exactly happy with this team kind of losing focus a bit. It's 10-4. Here's Buechele. Can't count that against Tommy John. That wasn't his fault. That's just a lack of concentration by Willie Randolph. 5-8, and that's a fly to right to end the inning. 2 runs come in. They were unearned. Both runs were unearned. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still a 10-4. Yankees comfortably in the lead. And Meredith going to come back out and keep pitching. He's going to be facing some lefties. Mattingly, Washington, the first 2 up are left-handed. Not sure if Tommy John will come back for the 7th or not. We shall see. Here's Donnie Baseball. 112, and that's a low max injury on Mattingly. He lines to second. Lines it to Brown, and now Mattingly may have to leave the game. 1-4, and he gets to stay in the game. Anything else, he's got to come out. And Mattingly will tough it out. What do you know? Mattingly would just throw some dirt on it and say, I'm going to tough it out. And that's exactly what he's doing. He will tough things out as he lines it right to Jerry Brown. Felt a twinge in the back, but tells Piniella he's okay to keep going. Of course, Piniella could also always, with precaution in a big league, could take him out, but kind of hard to get Mattingly out of the lineup. When he wants to play, he wants to play. So they're going to leave him in there. And that'll bring up Claudell Washington. 5-7, left-handed, is a in-home run chance. Claudell has normal power against lefties. It is gone. Or did I misread that? Yep. No, he's got normal power against lefties. So as I said, Meredith against left-handers can give up the long ball. 5-7, in-home run chance. He's got normal power. It's gone. Claudell, his second home run of the season. RBI number 13. And the Yankees now improve the lead to 11-4. And that may be all for Meredith. I think he's going to get the heck out of town. And the Rangers will go to Mahorsic to try to get through the rest of this game. So Mahorsik will be your new pitcher. And we'll get the numbers on Meredith in just a second. Meredith on the replay, in this ball game rather, goes 1 full inning, 3 innings pitched, 2 runs. I'm sorry, 3 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, a walk and a strikeout. But now they're going to the right-hander Dale Mahorsik out of the bullpen. Mahorsik on the replay is 2-1 with a save and a 6.11 earned run average. 18 hits. I'm sorry, 18 innings pitched, 26 hits, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. And he's facing Mr. Winfield. It's a 3-9 for Winfield, and he strikes out again. Boy, Winfield having a rough ball game as he strikes out again. As all these hits and runs the Yankees have, 11 runs and 10 hits, and he struck out 2 times, and he's 0 for 3. Here's Gary Ward. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 3-5 for Ward, and he's going to ground it to Buechele to end the inning. But the home run off the bat of Claudell Washington against a left-hander, no less, gives the Yankees an 11-4 lead as we go to the 7th inning. Hello, Kevin. Didn't see you sneak in there. I'm kind of late on my comments here. Early morning strat. Can't beat it with coffee. Got to have coffee, though. It is not complete without coffee. Coffee's going to need to be warmed up, and that's what the 7th inning stretch has dual purpose for. While the 7th inning stretch is going on, I'll be warming up my coffee or freshening it up. There's not that much left. I might pour it out and get a new cup out, or I might just top off this cup. I haven't decided yet. All right, so Tommy John's going to start the 7th. We'll see how long he can last. He will be facing the number 9 hitter, Bob Brower. 6-8. And that's trouble. 1-6 is a double. 7-20 is a single. That's a single for Brower. We'll see if the Strat computer makes John tired at this point. It does not. So they're going to let John keep going. Facing Jerry Brown, who's 0 for 3. 1-9 against the left-hander. He's not 0 for 3 anymore. That's going to be a single, 2 stars. That's going to put runners at the corners. And now that might be the end for Tommy John. He is now tired. So I think Piniella says, okay, we've had enough of that. And with Jeff Kunkel coming up, a right-hander, the Yankees will go to their bullpen. That's going to be it for Tommy John. He's going to go 6+. And in the bullpen, they have right-handers Tim Stoddard and Cecilio Guante. Left-handers Pat Clements, Bob Shirley, and Dave Righetti. So we got our choice here. It looks like they're going to pick Tim Stoddard to come into the ball game for the Yankees. Right-hander Tim Stoddard. We'll get the numbers on John. He's going to go 6+, but we can't close the book because these 2 runs are his responsibility. But we can get everything else. So TJ, definitely the recipient of run support. Going to give up 8 hits. So far, 4 runs, only 2 are earned, but that can change with those 2 runs. A walk and 2 strikeouts. So Jeff Kunkel will get his first at bat. Kunkel will get the first at bat here of the game for him, and he'll do it against Tim Stoddard. Numbers on Stoddard on the replay. Stoddard is 2-2 with no saves, a 2.86 earned run average, 20 innings pitched, 19 hits, 5 walks, 24 strikeouts. And he'll be facing Kunkel, who is hitting .333. He's 2 for 6. He hit .219 real world, but he's only had 6 at bats, so .333. Not exactly something to get excited about in just 6 at bats. Stoddard now to Kunkel. 4-7, and that's a single 1-3. He's going to line it to short otherwise, and that's a line out to Tollison. 1 down. keeps everybody right where they are. And here's Ruben Sierra. Stoddard to Sierra. 3-7. That's a triple 1 to 2. Anything else is a single. So that's a single 2 stars. So we got some runs being charged to TJ. Brower scoring is going to be charged to John. And going to third base is Jerry Brown. So RBI single. And that cuts the lead to 11-5. Again, with the score being what it is, they're not going to hold Sierra, and he's not going to try to steal or anything like that. We're just going to play it straight up. Here's Incaviglia. 3-12, and that is a single to center field for Incaviglia. That will score Brown, and now you can close the book on TJ now. A very mediocre outing, as it turns out. 6 runs, 4 earned for TJ, but he still can qualify for the win because of all the great run support. So it is a single to center. Sierra will hold at second base. So Stoddard had some issues. Will face Pete O'Brien, a left-hander. It's now 11-6. And now Piniella getting a little bit anxious. A long ball by O'Brien here, and we could have almost a brand new game. 5-10, and look at this ballpark blast on a 5-10. It's a 1-9. That's a 4, and as soon as I said it, it came to fruition. Pete O'Brien, a 3-run bomb off of Stoddard. 5-10. 5-10 is a ballpark blast. Ballpark blast or 1-9. That's a 4. Devil Die came up as a 4. It's a home run, a 3-run shot for Pete O'Brien. One of those Earl Weaver specials. And that's 5 runs in the inning for the Rangers, and they have closed the gap big time. O'Brien, home run number 8, RBIs 23, 24, and 25. 5 runs in the inning, and all of a sudden it's 11-9 ball game. And things are getting serious here at the stadium. And now Lou Piniella is shaking his head, wondering what the heck is going on. They got Pat Clements, the lefty, loosening the bullpen as quick as he can loosen. Whoops, quick as he can loosen, but Stoddard has not done what he needed to do. Still only 1 out, and here's Larry Parrish. 4-4, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-13, and that's a goner. So back-to-back jacks. Larry Parrish homers, makes it 11-10. For Parrish, home run number 6, RBI number 16. And how long can you go with Stoddard? I know righties are coming up, but really, they're going to go one more batter, I guess. Give him one more chance to get him out here. Slot, 5-2, and that's a ground ball back to Stoddard for out number 2. We'll try to get him through the inning and then have Clements maybe start the 7th, or start the 8th, rather. So on that one, he grounds it right back to Stoddard for out number 2. And here comes Bouchel, but it is now an 11-10 ball game. 4-6, and that's trouble on a 1, but anything else will be an out. That's an out. It's a fly ball to center to end the inning. Texas sent 9 to the plate. They get a 6-pack of their own. And we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score now Yankees 11, Texas 10. And that's going to be it for Tim Stoddard, obviously. He will leave the ball game. He's going to go 1 inning. We'll get the numbers on Stoddard, which obviously were not good. Already finished the numbers on TJ. And, of course, the new shortstop, Kunkel, is the new shortstop. Or he was the new shortstop a way back. So let's go to the box score and get the numbers on Stoddard, which were not pretty. 1 inning pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned on 2 long balls. And coming into pitch will be Pat Clements in the 8th inning for the Yankees. Stoddard, a very rough outing. It's an 11-10 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And with all these wild and woolly runs and activities going on, it's a good time for the a seventh inning stretch break and take me out to the ball game, refresh my coffee, all that good stuff. All the good stuff we associate with Strat. And I'll be right back. All right, back and hopefully refreshed after that seventh inning stretch and a coffee run to nuke my coffee and get it all ready to go. I didn't top it off. I just nuked what I had. So hopefully that will be sufficient. All right. Mike Pagliarulo will lead things off for the Yankees against Mahorsic as we go to the bottom of the seventh of now an 11-10 slugfest. The score sheet's a mess, but that's to be expected when you get games like this. Pagliarulo 1 for 3 with a homer. 2-10, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base, and that'll be fielded by Jerry Brown for out number 1. So we might see Righetti after all. Righetti thought he was going to get the game off with that when the Yankees held at one point. They held a 10-2 lead, and they have seen that almost slip away. So here's Tollison. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. 2 runs scored. 4-8. Switch hitter batting left is a single. So second base hit of the game for Tollison. And if the Yankees can get some production from the bottom of the order, they're really doing well. Tollison will not be held. And here's Cerrone. He's 1 for 3. 2-7, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout for Mahorsic, his first strikeout. 2 down, and now it's back to Ricky. Ricky's had a great game. He has 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored. He caused 2 balks. So he's done what he could do. He's up now with Tollison at first and 2 down. 2-4, and that's a ground ball to Buechele at third. That will end the inning. So Mahorsic keeps things close. We go to the 8th. Still 11-10 Yankees. But we will get a new pitcher as Tim Stoddard will not see the light of day anymore. He is going to be out of there. And despite right-handers coming up for Texas, they're going to a left-hander out of the bullpen in Pat Clements. So lefty Pat Clements will be coming on for the Yankees to start the 8th inning. He'll be facing number 9 hitter Brower and then Brown and Fletcher. So we'll get the numbers on Clements for the replay. On the replay, where are you, Clements? There you are. On the season replay, Clements is 0-1 with 3 saves, a 5.40 earned run average. He had a 4.95 real world. 17 innings pitched, 17 hits, 7 walks, and 10 strikeouts. So Mr. Clements His job is to get him to the ninth and get it to Rigetti. Of course, if he gets into trouble, this is 1987 after all, so there is such a thing as a 2-inning save. So could see Rigetti if Clemens struggles. 5-8. Well, it helps to have a batter at the box, doesn't it? We'll bring Brower up to bat. He needed to be there. 5-8 is going to be a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tollison. He's a 3E22. 3 and a 3. That's a bad break on the double die. That'll be a base hit. 3 and 3 is a base hit. That's a 13. And Tollison's an E22. There is no 13, but there is going to be a base hit for Brower. His third hit of the game. He sneaks it past. And now he's a threat to run. -3 hold for Clemens, though, so that will help him a little bit. Total of -4. So if he gets the lead, it would be down to a 1-9. So I don't think they're going to take that chance. So he will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And here's Jerry Brown, the governor. Would he consider bunting? No, we're not going to consider bunting. In most cases, bunting is a bad play. You're just giving team, just like they said in Moneyball, you're just giving them outs. And that's what Billy Beane said. They're going to give you out, you take it and say thank you and be on your way. All right, here is Jerry Brown. 1-4, but that's a ground ball shortstop A, so maybe that's one of the times you should have gone for the bunt. But instead, it will be a 6-4-3 double play. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword sometimes. So Jerry Brown hits into that pitcher's best friend, 6-4-3 double play. 2 quick outs, and now here's Kunkel, who came in for the injured Fletcher. To 1-6, and that's a single for Kunkel. So Kunkel will keep it going with the base hit. He, of course, won't be going anywhere, but the dangerous Ruben Sierra is at the plate. And now what will Clemens do with Sierra? That's a 3-8 against lefties, and that's a 1-2 single. That's a 20, so he lines it to short, and that's going to end the inning. So he gets out of it unscathed, but that's going to be it for Clemens. They're going to turn it over to Rigetti in the 9th. Clemens goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. The double play was huge. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, see if the Yankees can get any insurance runs to help the cause. Give Rigetti some breathing room. They'll have Randolph, Mattingly, and Washington do up the heart of the order against Mr. Mahorsic. So it will be Randolph, Mattingly, and Claudell Washington. Start this bottom of the 8th. 11-10 Yankees. Didn't think it would ever get this close, but it sure did. So Mahorsic now facing Randolph. Randolph is actually 0 for 3 with a walk. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. Mahorsic is not tired yet. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So the strikeout stands, and Randolph is out of there. Here's Mattingly. He's homered and single, 2 for 4. 6-7 against the lefty. Is a ground ball shortstop X, and we're over to the new shortstop Kunkel. And we'll look at Kunkel's numbers on his card. Kunkel is a 4E48, so that could be problems. Of course, they brought him in when the score was out of hand. They didn't know it was going to get this close. But he's a 4E48, so we'll see what happens on the 4. 4-19, he caught a break. It's a G1, so he'll get to it. E48, though, at shortstop, and that is a 12. E48, there's a 12 sitting right there, and that'll be an error, 1 base error on Jeff Kunkel. So Kunkel boots it. Mattingly will reach on the E6. Bobby Valentine not happy about it. Now each team has committed an error. Yankees have committed 2. Texas committed 1. And Claudell Washington is your batter against Mahorsic. Mattingly, of course, not being held. No threat to run. Yes, Justin, Friday Fun Day will be at noon today. I'm doing double action because I didn't play yesterday. I was out of town yesterday, so I'm doing double action today. 8 o'clock for this one, and then noon is Friday Fun Day. But I'm not going to give away what game it is yet. It's just a game I played before, but I haven't played in a while. And you know it won't be Status Pro. You know it won't be Payoff Pitch. You know it won't be Replay because I've already done those on Fun Day Friday. We will pick something else. All right, here's Claudel. He homered his last time up. 5-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Sierra. He's a 2E12. This is big. Sierra has to get to this. 2 and an 8, he probably will. I think he'll be safe with a 2 and an 8. 2 and 8 is an F2. He does get to it. His error rating is a 12, and that is a 9. 12, there is no 9, so Sierra will make the catch for out number 2 as Claudel Washington is put away. And now a guy who's nothing the whole game has a chance to redeem himself, Mr. Winfield. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, but he's got a chance to make something happen here. I'm not giving away what the game is. All right, here is Winfield. You'll have to tune in at noon to find out. 5-3 from Mahorsic is a ground ball first base C, and that will do it. O'Brien flips to Mahorsic covering to end the inning. That's going to be it from Mahorsic. He's done. So we'll get the numbers on Mahorsic before we bring in Righetti. So let's go to the Strat computer and get these numbers on Mahorsic. He pitched pretty well, 2 2/3. I would say so. 2 2/3, a hit and nothing else with 3 strikeouts. So he's definitely kept his team in the game. But now Righetti coming in to try to close the deal for the Yankees. Of course, he's not exactly automatic. We'll get his numbers on the replay, which will be proof positive that he's not automatic. On the replay for Righetti, he is 1-0 with 7 saves, but his ERA is 4.67. He was a 3.51 real world. 17 innings pitched, 18 hits, 7 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He has given up 4 gopher balls in 17 innings of pitching, but he does have a he's got a 1-run lead, so that's what the problem is. They were looking for insurance, he didn't get it. So one long ball can tie this game. And speaking of long balls, you got Pete Incaviglia, who hit 27 of them real world, leading off here in the top of the 9th against Rags. It's a 5-7, and that's a leadoff walk, not what they wanted. A leadoff walk, and we'll see there might be a pinch runner for Incaviglia. Check the bench for the Rangers, but I don't think they have much left because of the injuries and substitutions and whatnot. Well, they do have Kurt Wilkerson still on the bench. They're going to bring in Kurt Wilkerson to pinch run for Incaviglia. He runs at a 10. Wilkerson runs at a 15. So, and they can maneuver the outfielders around if they need to, if it goes extra innings. But they're going to bring in Kurt Wilkerson to pinch run here in the 9th for Incaviglia. So Wilkerson, the pinch runner, Wilkerson rather, and he is a threat. They will have to hold him on. He is a threat to steal. Righetti, though, is a -5 hold, so that may put the kibosh on some stealing. So Wilkerson probably won't try to get the lead, but they will have to hold him on because he's a fast runner. So they will hold Wilkerson on first base. That might open up a hole on the right-hand side for lefty Pete O'Brien, although the shortstop Tollison is responsible for holding the runner. So Righetti pitching to O'Brien, lefty on lefty matchup. O'Brien homered he had a 3-run homer his last time up. That was against Stoddard. 6-7 to the lefty. That's a single to left field. That's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. And did somebody mention earlier that a Righetti is not a guaranteed save? I think somebody did. I think several people did, actually. So now you got Kurt Wilkerson, a fast runner in scoring position with nobody out. And stepping to the plate is Larry Parrish. Larry Parrish, the batter. Parrish homered also off Stoddard his last chance. Righetti needs to get a ground ball double play or something to get out of this, or a strikeout or something, just to get something positive going. That's a 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. They got the chance for the double play on the ground ball second base X. Randolph is a 2E17, so if he gets a friendly double die, that's a high number. We got a chance for a double play. That's an 8. That may not be high enough. Check it out. 2 and an 8. Nope, it's only a force play at second base, but at least they'll get an out if there's no error. That's a 10, so it should be safe on that. E17, there is no 10, but it's going to be a 4-6 fielder's choice. That's all they will get. Going to third is Wilkerson. Reaching on first base is Parrish. So now the infield, what do you do here? Do you play back for the double play, or do you play in to try to choke the runoff? That's why Lou Piniella gets paid the big bucks to make those decisions. Slot is 0 for 4, but they really don't have anybody left on the bench other than catchers that aren't very good against left-handed pitching. So they're going to stick with Slot, even though he's 0 for 4. Slot, he has some double play chances on his card, so they're going to play back for the double play. Of course, Rags would take a strikeout if he could get it, but they are playing back for the double play. Parrish, of course, not being held. 1-3 for Slot, and that's a ground ball B, but if they had been playing in, that plus would have been a base hit, so they'll get the out. The game will be tied, but had they been playing in, that would have gotten through for a base hit. So they at least get the force out on a fielder's choice, but the game is tied, and amazingly, the Texas Rangers have come all the way back to tie the game at 11-11. Unbelievable. I would have not believed that had somebody said that earlier. Righetti, the blown save. We are tied at 11. Runner at first is Slot with 2 outs, and here's Buechele. And Mitch Williams is going to come in and pitch the 9th for Texas. We also got to figure out who's going to play left field. Righetti to Buechele, 2-6, and that's a single 2 stars. So Righetti's not out of the woodwork yet. Runners are on the corners with 2 outs. Righetti putting gasoline on the fire. And here's Bob Brower. He's only 3 for 4 in this game. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance for a balk on Righetti. Now, his card does not list the balk rating. I've got to go to the computer, see what his balk rating is. If he balks, the Rangers will take the lead. His balk rating is a 12. That's tough. A 1-12, and Righetti will balk in the go-ahead run. And he does. Righetti balks in the go-ahead run. How do you like that? Talk about an unusual play, but that's what that havoc roll will do to you. Balks in the run to make it now a 12-11 Texas lead. Righetti still has to get Brower. 2-5, and he does on a ground ball to short to end the inning. But we're going to the bottom of the 9th, and wild thing, Mitch Williams will come on and try to save it for Texas. And we got to figure out, that's it for Righetti. And we got to figure out who the left fielder is going to be as well. So let's see here. Two runs on 2 hits. The balk is an earned run. It's not an unearned run. It's considered an earned run. He walked 1 and didn't strike out anybody, so he just didn't have it. And now the wild thing, Mitch Williams will be coming on to pitch for Texas to try to wrap this thing up. But he's not a sure thing either, so no guarantees there whatsoever. Let's get the numbers on Mitch Williams and figure out who's going to play left field for Texas. Let's see who can play left field. Well, Kunkel is rated as a left fielder, so we're going to move Kunkel from shortstop to left field, and Kurt Wilkerson will stay in the game to play short. That shores up their shortstop defense as well. So that will certainly help their cause. as Wilkerson's just a tiny bit better at short than what Kunkel was. But Kunkel's in left field. Mitch Williams is your batter. So Kunkel will move to left field in the ninth, and Wilkerson will be shortstop in the ninth. All right, so Mitch Williams will be facing, the schedule here is Ward, Pagliarulo, and Tollison for the Yankees. Looking at their bench, these are the players that the Yankees have available. From the right side, they have Ron Kittle and Henry Cotto, as well as Len Sakata and Joel Skinner. From the left side, Dan Pasqua. So Kittle possibly could hit for Pagliarulo, because Pagliarulo just doesn't hit lefties very well at all. So Ron Kittle has picked up a bat, and he will hit for Pagliarulo. That is a given. Paul Kittle will pinch hit here in the ninth after Ward hits. It will be Kittle. But first things first, it's Gary Ward facing Mitch Williams. On the replay, Williams 0-2 with 5 saves, a 6.57 earned run average. So again, not a guarantee by any means. 12 innings pitched, 9 hits, 14 walks, and 17 strikeouts. He has given up 4 home runs in 12 innings of pitching. So here's Ward against Williams. 5-3 for Mitch Williams, and that's a fly ball to right field X. We're looking at Sierra. He's a 2E12. 2E12 for Sierra. 2 and a 3. The Yankees might catch a break on the double die. 2 and a 3 is going to be a base hit. It's going to drop in for Ward. That's a 6. Sierra's an E12. There is no 6, but it will be a leadoff single for Gary Ward as he drops it right in front of Sierra. Ward runs decently at a 14. He's not going to try to steal. But the Yankees, let's see, the only guy they have that's even faster maybe is Henry Cotto. Henry Cotto is a tiny bit faster. They're actually going to pinch run with Henry Cotto. So Cotto will pinch run for Ward, and it's also, he got a chance to get a steal. But Williams is a -6 hold. So that's going to probably keep that from happening, but they will have to hold Cotto on. And Pagliarulo is being called back, and Ron Kittle will be your batter. So Cotto, the pinch runner. Cotto is the pinch runner. And if it goes to extra innings, he would stay in the game to play left field in place of, actually, he would stay in the game as DH in place of Ward. But Kittle is your batter. Pinch hitter, Ron Kittle. And we'll get the numbers on Kittle. On the Strat computer, we got to bring in Cotto to pinch run for Ward, and then bring in Kittle to pinch hit for Pags. On replay, Kittle is hitting .311, 6 homers, 16 driven in, and 61 at bats. So he could end this thing with 1 long ball. Nothing on the havoc. Mitch Williams facing Ron Kittle. 2-10, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-8, but that's a 20. The double die lets him down. It is a deep fly to left field for 1 away. So Kittle got excited there for a minute, but the ballpark blast failed on a 1-8 with that 20 on the double die. That brings up Wayne Tollison. Normally a pinch hit for Tollison, but he's 2 for 3, so they're going to leave him in there to face Gary Ward, or to face Mitch Williams, I should say. That's a 3-7 against the left-hander. He's going to strike out. That's out number 2. And now it's down to Rick Cerrone. Rick Cerrone, the last chance for the Yankees. He is 0 for 4 in this game, but they really don't have anything from the right side. Len Sakata is the only one they have left. He's a 267 hitter, but he does hit lefties very well. So they will bring on Len Sakata to pinch hit for Cerrone. If it goes extra innings, Sakata would come in and play third base for the pinch hitted Pagliarulo, and then Joel Skinner would come in and catch for Cerrone, if it gets to that. right now we have Sakata pinch hitting here in the ninth as Lou Piniella pulling out all the stops, anything he can find. But you can see a juicy column 1 for Len Sakata against lefties. So Len Sakata will come in and hit for Cerrone, who was only 1 for 4 on the game. They like the chances of Sakata better in this particular instance. So Len Sakata going to get a chance. On the replay, Sakata is hitting 250. He's 8 for 32. No homers, 4 driven in. He hit 267 real world. So Sakata did have 2 home runs. They both came against left-handed pitching. So if he can get into one, the Yankees can walk it off. Mitch Williams to Sakata. To 6-7, and that's a walk. So the game continues, and Ricky Henderson will have an at-bat as the Wild Thing walks Sakata. And it says here, Mitch Williams is tired. I don't see how that can be. He's only given up 2 batters, so that doesn't make any sense. So we're not gonna follow that particular outing. Mitch Williams will face Ricky Henderson. All comes down to Ricky. Good speed on the bases in Henry Cotto. He could probably score on any base hit other than a single 1-star. And they will hold him on second base. Just in case, try to keep him close. Williams to Ricky. To 4-5, and he strikes out to end the ball game. Mitch Williams comes through. The Wild Thing comes through and strikes out Ricky Henderson with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. He gives up a single and a walk, but gets out of the mess, and the Yankees are kicking themselves for blowing a game like this. 12-11, your final after you were leading 10-2 after 5 innings. But the bullpen just let it go, basically. So 12 runs, 16 hits, and an error for Texas. 11 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors for the Yankees. Losing pitcher is Righetti. Winning pitcher is Mahorsic, with the save going to Mitch Williams. And we'll get the totals off the Strat computer as well. See if anybody left an enormous, I can't even think of the word for it. A lot of runners on base is what I'm trying to think. All right, let's see here. No, not really. Yankees left on 8, Rangers left on 6. So winning pitcher, Mahorsic now improves to 3-1. Mitch Williams picks up save number 6. Righetti takes the loss. He drops to 1-1. And he blows his 4th save. That's his 4th blown save of the season replay. 12 runs, 16 hits, and an error for Texas. 11 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors for the Yankees. Yankees drop to 21-12. Texas improves to 14-16. And with that 21-12, player of the game, I'll give it to Pete O'Brien. His 3-run homer in the 7th inning really got the Rangers back in the ball game. So to me, Pete O'Brien is your player of the game. You could give it to Incaviglia, though. He was 3 for 4, and he was in the middle of a lot of stuff. But I think Pete O'Brien, his 2 hits and that 3-run homer really, and he was in the middle of the rally in the 9th inning as well. So I'm giving the player of the game to Pete O'Brien. But for the standings now, what that game does to the Yankees in the standings, they now drop to 21-12. They're a full game and a half back of Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 21-9, so they got the same amount of wins, but Milwaukee has 3 less losses. Toronto at 19-11 is right on the Yankees' heels, only a half game back. So if Toronto wins their game today, the Yankees will drop into a second-place tie. But this falls under the category of one that got away. No question about it. Wild one here on this Friday. This isn't even Fun Day Friday. That's yet to come. But this was pretty fun as it is. Just, if you like these wild and woolly games, I prefer pitching duels. But hey, once in a while you get a game like this. The score sheet is immaculately messy, but that's okay. It's all in the computer now, and everything's tidied up on the computer, and all the stats are in there and whatnot. Yankees are 21-12, and that's exactly where they were after 33 games in real world. They were 21-12, so they're right on the same number. Texas is 14-16, and that's exactly where they were after 30 games. So their win-loss records are identical to real world. after this particular spot in the season. Yep, you Dav, you are absolutely right. Mahorsic also kept them in the game. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give thanks to you. I'm gonna give him a co-player of the game. Mahorsic and Pete O'Brien are co-players of the game. I didn't even think about it, but you were absolutely 100% correct. Without Mahorsic holding down the fort, Rangers would have never had a chance to get back and tie this ball game. So Mahorsic with 2 2/3 innings of relief. Of course, he will have to rest next game. He won't be able to pitch next game, but Rangers don't care. They got him for where they needed him right now. So anyway, thank you all for spending part of your Friday morning with me. It was a wilder game than I had anticipated. I thought it was going to be a blowout the way it was started. It was 10-2 after 5 innings. I figured people start leaving because it was a blowout. But lo and behold, Yankee bullpen, particularly Tim Stoddard, really crapped the bed and gave up the lead. And then Righetti blew it in the ninth. So what can you say? Just happens. Stuff happens. But the Fun Day Friday is not over yet. At noon today, noon Eastern, we'll be back for the Fun Day Friday game. It's a game I have not played in a long time, but we'll play today at noon. And it could be a couple different games. Don't know yet. You don't know yet what it's going to be because I haven't told you yet. Not letting anything out of the bag. The games it will not be is Replay Baseball, Payoff Pitch, and Status Pro, because I've already done those on the Fun Day Fridays. But all the other games I've played in the past are up for grabs on this Fun Day Friday at noon Eastern. So if you get a chance, be sure to check that out and find out what game it is and find out what season it is and what 2 teams they are and all that good stuff as we celebrate Fun Day Friday. And tomorrow at noon, we'll be back to the NBC Game of the Week. Had some personal issues last Saturday, so it was canceled. But we're back for the Saturday Game of the Week, NBC Game of the Week on Season Ticket Baseball. And I believe it's the Red Sox and the Royals, if I'm not mistaken, will be the NBC Game of the Week. So until next time, enjoy whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And thanks to everyone who did come in for the live stream. Appreciate it. Enjoyed your company. Makes the games a whole lot nicer and more interactive for me. So enjoyed it very, very much. Had a lot of fun. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.